We're from the village and we don't know you. We're not expecting to get a reply from you, but can you make them as Krishna family? Here it is. Oh my goodness, this is incredible. This is top 10 art right here. They look outstanding. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to EzPz. I'm your host, David the Baker, and today we're going to be taking a look at r/Mademesmile. Oh, it's been a while since I've done this one. I'm so ready for the wholesomeness. We got a lot of good vibes ahead of us, so without further ado, let's go. I wonder what those two animals are doing. Honey, will you marry me? Yes, 1,000 times yes! And they all lived happily ever after. Yesterday, this kid had his Pokemon card collection stolen. A local police officer gave his own collection to him. Well, if that's not protecting and serving, I don't know what is. It's the way he holds on to me. No, it's the way that you guys hold on to each other. You guys are adorable. Autistic Boy was sad that Blockbuster closed, so his parents built him his own Blockbuster at home. Yo, your parents are the best. Hands down, they're amazing. And you know what? I miss Blockbuster too. I paid for his beer and that of his guys. Everyone loved me. I didn't know it would be such a big deal for guys. My friend has a girl who feeds all of us on weekends. Anytime he looks at another girl, we slap him on her behalf. I mean, that's awesome and all, but why is your friend looking at other girls? I'm sure he's a great guy, but come on, you've already got a keeper. Last night, we had a 93-year-old guest. When she came in, she said that she couldn't see much, only in her peripheral vision. We put her in a chair in the pod for her to sit on. She swam with the dolphins and said, "Wowee, it's just so beautiful. I want this over my headboard." Turns out she could see in VR. Then she experienced Google Earth for 45 minutes, mostly street views of past homes, homes of loved ones. She directed us where to drive around and gave us the history of the neighborhood. "When I was a girl, that house on the corner was a brothel." Then we went to Paris and she stared up at the Eiffel Tower completely frozen for 2 whole minutes. Afterwards, her daughter came back and said that at dinner her grandma cried saying, "I haven't seen colors like that in years." I don't think there's a sweeter or grander feeling than helping someone reconnect with the world that they live in. I just love this. It's incredible. The girl I babysit has made me watch WALL-E at least 10 times, so I assumed it was her favorite movie. But today, her mom told me that she watches it because she thinks it's my favorite movie. Oh, well, that's a little awkward. What are you gonna do? Now you're gonna say it's not your favorite movie? No, she watched it 10 times for you. You just gotta tell her like, "Oh yeah, it totally is my favorite movie." Man falsely in prison for 10 years uses prison library to study law and have his conviction overturned. He becomes a lawyer and is now helping overturn other false convictions. Now that is a legitimate big brain move. You studied up, you got yourself free, and now you can help other people? Dude, you're incredible. Japanese child actress Mana Ashina, or Little Maku, was embarrassed that she couldn't pronounce Guillermo del Toro's name, so he gave her special permission to call him Totoro-san instead. My neighbor Guillermo del Toro. If I don't reblog this, assume I'm dead. To be fair, I almost couldn't pronounce Guillermo del Toro's name myself. I was sitting there sounding like Guillermo, I was tripping. Dear parents, these are the thoughts of a trucker. I'm not a parent, maybe one day, but 6 other drivers and myself were talking in a truck stop about how kids are not doing the arm pump like we did as kids for the truckers to blow their horns. It's becoming something that's so rare that when it does happen, we brag about it for weeks. Literally. Can we please start teaching kids the arm pump again? Sometimes we've had a rough day, and making a child smile by blowing our horns for them when they give us the arm pump can drastically change our day. Possibly theirs too. We miss that. That's all I wanted to say. Take care. Okay, bye. You know what? This trucker's absolutely right. We gotta start doing this more. I made an old lady blush today at work because she ordered 2 senior coffees and I said, "Senior? I'm sorry, miss. I'm gonna have to ask to see some ID." And she covered her mouth and went, "Oh dear me." And I couldn't stop smiling. You, my friend, are a really sweet person. How is same-sex marriage viewed where you live? In Canada, we just call it marriage. And since it's not hockey, no one really cares which team you're playing for. Perfect answer. Mwah. This is exactly how it should be everywhere. A thing I've started doing with my class is giving them a secret mission where they have to do something, and if another staff member tells me about it, the whole class moves up on my reward chart. Last week was holding doors for people. This week is asking people about their day. When my 13-year-old daughter was 5, I taught her that squeezing 3 times while holding hands means I love you. I did this for the sole purpose of being able to secretly tell her this as I walk her down the aisle one day, without bawling like a baby. That's a 1000 IQ move right there. Last month, I posted on YSK advising people not to avoid photos, as they're the only way your loved ones will be able to see you when you're gone. After my mom died, I was left with nothing but her driver's license and a blurry picture. Because of the post I made, someone offered to clear up the blurry picture of us. Wow, Wow, and they did such a good job too. Like, that looks really good. Today, this guy was trying to find his wife in Fred Meyer, and he yelled, "Marco!" And she yelled back, "Polo!" That came from the wine section, didn't it? And oh my god, I think I just saw my actual future. For me, this remains the most profound picture ever taken of Obama. The little boy needed to know if Obama's hair was actually like his own. No, that's a big thing. You know, for a good while, there wasn't a lot of representation of black characters in our media that we consumed. The connection of having someone look like you in a really important position, not to mention a relatively good and humane person, it's a lot, and I can see why it means a lot to someone else. Like, this is very profound. Dad, can you keep my Snapchat streaks alive while I'm away? Sure, you just need to show me what to do. Okay, just don't embarrass me. And then he sends this meme. You already know he's gonna embarrass you. Hi, this is Redacted's dad. Just doing a streak. Have a good day. Streaks. Hi. Hoping everyone did their homework. Hey kids, starting in kindergarten, if you read 20 minutes a night, by the time you're in 6th grade, you will have read over 1.8 million words. Keep it up. A1 performance right here. This guy knows how to run his streaks. My mom got me a cardboard cutout of my dog to take with me to college. Oh, that's awesome. Now they can always be with you. This guy got on the bus and just stared at me and Lulabelle on my lap for a solid 30 seconds and then goes, "Are you allowed to have dogs on the bus?" And I just shrugged. And then he pulled a chihuahua out of nowhere. This took an unexpected wholesome turn. He was like, "Oh, well, if she has a dog, then fine, I'm gonna let my dog out of my bag too." High school cross-country team invites shelter dogs on their morning run. I'm not sure who was more excited, because that's what heroes do. In honor of yet another troll saying that I shouldn't post photos of myself, here are 2 cute selfies. Feeling fine AF right now. Hashtag my best selfie. Kissy emoji, fire emoji, kiss emoji. And this is precisely what I mean about saying nothing if you have nothing nice to say. What gives anybody the right to tell another human being what they should and shouldn't post? You are beautiful, Melissa, inside and out. Nah, for real, Melissa's awesome. This goose used her wings to protect an abandoned puppy from the cold. The puppy went to sleep and stopped shivering. I did not know that geese could be such kind creatures, but yeah, that is actually amazing. My girlfriend doesn't eat fish, but on paella nights, my dad always makes her a separate fish-free version. Oh goodness, that looks delicious. Can your dad make me one too? I'm allergic to fish, but I would really love to try this. This bike may look odd to some, but this man built it so that his blind brother can feel the wind like he does. That's quite the brother. No, for real, I'm sure that's an amazing experience, but I feel like if I was blind and I was riding a motorcycle, I feel like I would be so afraid. Garbage men of Reddit, what's the most memorable thing you found in the trash? Not a garbage man, but my dad was before I was born. He found old fishing lures, a Belova watch, but most importantly, my dad was the driver who had this one girl's garbage route, and every time the girl would hear the truck, she'd get all the last minute garbage from the house and take it so that she could get a good look at all the garbage men. And she was interested in my dad. She even scheduled her radiography classes around the trash collection day, just so she'd be home. When my dad noticed the trend, he'd often switch roles with one of the guys on the back of the truck so he could take the girl's last minute garbage from her and toss it in. This went on for months. One day, the father locked her out of the house and said he wouldn't let her back in until she gets the phone number of one of the garbage men. Coincidentally, this was one day my dad was driving. She took the trash up to the guy on the back and she asked him, "Hey, is your driver seeing anyone?" The guy yelled back to my dad, "Hey Keith, are you seeing anyone?" And this is how my dad found his most valuable treasure, my mom, in the garbage. They've been happily married for almost 26 years. Upvote, upvote, just give this man all the upvotes. I don't know if this will make any of you smile as much as I am, but I'm officially a 45-year-old college freshman. I was accepted. They even set my schedule. Ayo, congratulations to you. Even though you're 45, you still gotta party with the rest of the kids. You gotta go to all those parties, join a fraternity, drink your heart out, you gotta do all of it. His wife was a victim of severe burns. When he was asked why he didn't leave her, he replied, "I married her soul, her character, and she is the only woman that will continue to fulfill my dreams." That's a good husband right there. Although another acceptable answer would be, "Mind your own goddamn business." Although his answer was a lot nicer. My father died 14 years ago, but I still add his number to my contacts list every time I get a new phone. I'm locked out of my dog's Facebook account that I created in 2010, and they won't let me back in unless I send over a copy of his driver's license. I have no choice but to teach him how to drive. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. If heaven exists, this is what you see at its gates. Just this little fluffy boy. They're like, "Hi, I'm here to guide you through the afterlife." I adopted this poor, traumatized fella Friday. I was worried he wouldn't be happy at my house. This is where we are on Monday. Internet, meet Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
Today is my last day of chemo. Oh, she looks so happy. I hope she has a great day. A train station in Japan had plans to close, but noticed that a student was the only one using it. For her, they kept the station running until she graduated high school, because that's what good people do. After many long years and struggling, I was finally able to pay for braces myself and get them today. Yo, that's incredible. Congrats to you for getting the braces and all, but can we just take a second to look at your eyes? Yo, Dim's the type of brown eyes that I wish I had. About the author. When Dave Philly was a kid, he suffered from ADHD, dyslexia, and behavioral problems. Dave was so disruptive in class that his teachers made him sit in the hall every day. Fortunately, Dave loved to draw and make up stories. He spent his time in the hallway creating his own original comic books. In the second grade, Dave Pilkey created a comic book about a superhero named Captain Underpants. His teacher ripped it up and told him that he couldn't spend the rest of his life making silly books. Fortunately, Dave was not a very good listener. And that, kids, is why we still have Captain Underpants today. Hashtag Father's Day. My girls thought I needed a new look to the hard hat. What do y'all think? Oh, absolutely. Your girls made them a whole lot better. Be careful with my baby, please. Aw, don't you worry, doggo. I'll take great care of the puppy. I frolicked for the first time ever today, bruh. You ever frolicked before? Why no one ever tell me about this? Oh, this guy looks like he's having such a good time. Sister-in-law had her driver's test today. There are 3 possible spots they use for testing reversing around a corner, and one of them she just couldn't master. So my stepdad went and parked his car there, so the examiner had to pick one of the other 2. Anyways, she passed. I made my friend's chinchilla out of wool, and they think I captured him quite well. Well, yeah, you did an amazing job. It looks oddly realistic, like 10 out of 10. A tiger mother lost her cubs because of premature labor. Her health was declining because of depression. She was given piglets wrapped in tiger cloth. Now she loves these pigs and treats them as her babies. Oh, come on. Yo, if that doesn't touch your heart, then nothing will. I mean, just look at the second photo on the right. That is pure sugar. One of my favorite tables was a mom, a dad, and their young son. He was very little, like 3 or so, and mostly nonverbal. I believe he had autism, but I don't want to assume. The mom spoke no English, and the dad spoke enough to order and say thank you, but that was about it. They were Mexican immigrants and sold fruit out of their truck across the street every weekend. I served them every single Saturday and Sunday morning. They were always so polite to me and left me $5 to $10 a tip every time. No matter how busy I was or how many times I forgot something, they were nice and they tipped in full. When I went on maternity leave, a lot of my regulars tipped bigger because we were a small town diner and that's customary of regulars. But I will never forget that this family bought me a basket of fresh fruit, a bag of onesies, and a card which congratulated me and wished me luck in broken English, along with a $50 bill. I cried and I think I made the dad a little nervous, but they've always been my favorite customers of all time. In loving memory of Charlie. Please help yourself to a tennis ball for your dog to enjoy. You may also wish to pop it back in the box afterwards for another dog to enjoy. If you wish to keep it, that's fine. Remember to live each moment just like your dog, with unconditional love, loyalty, and happiness. Aw man, rest in peace, Charlie. Since I started my new job about a month ago, I noticed one of my coworkers gets treated like an outcast, so I made a point to befriend him. Today he came to my office, handed me a gift card, and awkwardly says, "Thank you for treating me like a person." Which I might be crying. Man, me too. It just goes to show you that treating someone with kindness goes a long way. The highlight of my day was my teacher bringing his cat to school, and every time he asked the class a question, his cat would meow, and he would accept it as an answer. Love it. 10 out of 10. After 6 months homeless and jobless, I now have a new apartment, a car, and a job in a call center, and I did it on my own. So proud of myself. Yo, look at this man, this dashing young gentleman. Yo, he's ready for work. He's got his own place, a job, a car. Bro, this dude's living it. I googled most important image on the internet. I was not disappointed. Oh, look at that big floppy smile. Quincy's been waiting all week to show the garbage man his garbage truck, but in the moment, he was overwhelmed in the presence of his heroes. Kids do get overwhelmed like that, like they're so excited that they just start to cry. Either way, this is nice. Mitch McConnell passing a smirking Jon Stewart in the Capitol. Right before the vote on a permanent authorization of funding for 9/11 first responders, Jon Stewart pushed for full funding for years while Mitch McConnell dragged his feet and betrayed the heroes of 9/11. Today, Mitch goes down to defeat, and the 9/11 victim compensation is fully funded through 2092. Ah, look at Jon Stewart. He's just like, haha, take that, Mitch. Today, my mom went on a boat with this dog, and I thought everyone deserved to see this. Hey, no photography. This dog's on the job. I take baths with my cat by letting her float in a plastic box. I keep the box in my closet. I only started doing this about a month ago, but now when I turn on the bath water, she runs to the closet and jumps in her box. That's some Pavlov behavioral conditioning right there. After not seeing my dog in 5 months, I Skyped him last night. My mom sent me this after we disconnected. Oh, that is so sweet. They hadn't seen each other since daycare closed down. Their parents arranged for a play date together. This is what happened when it was time to leave. I'm gonna miss you, man. I'm gonna miss you too. Meet Ajit Singh. He is from Varanasi. He saved more than 1,000 girls from sex traffickers. He also provided free education to poor girls. Because once again, ladies and gentlemen, that is what heroes do. I am 2 years sober today. Consequently, Tay-Tay is 2 years old. We rescued each other. Aw, you guys are cute together. In Islam, we believe that when a child dies, they are sent to heaven as angels, and they wait at the gates of paradise to guide you in and reunite. What a beautiful belief. I love the positivity that you have sent me. Please continue to spread it, unlike some of the people in these comments. Turn some old cheats I had into some mommy and me fits, and you guys are rocking it. Born in 1920 in Aberdeen, helped decode the enigma at Bletchley Park during World War II. Turned 100 years old today. My hero of a grandmother. Yo, she's 100 years old? She looks like she could be 70. Well, either way, happy birthday. I hid under the bed to scare my boyfriend while he was in the bathroom, and when he came out, he saw that I was gone, and I watched him get all excited and run to the closet to wait to scare me. I was sitting under my bed crying, laughing. See, this is why two pranksters can't date. Nobody's safe at any time. It's cold. I'ma wear my jammies. Hey, you do what you gotta do, doggo. Hey, yo, two superheroes just chilling out. Wait, is that actually Tom Holland? He told his daughter, "Don't tell anyone that your father is a janitor. They will laugh at you." She posted this photo on social media and wrote, "My dad is a janitor. He is my pride. I love you, Dad." I don't know why people get on janitors for being janitors. Somebody's gotta clean up our messes. And janitors happen to be the most fun type of people. Like, I have never met an unfunny janitor. Point is, janitors are cool. Cheetahs are so shy that zoos give them their own emotional support dogs. Aww. I've been waiting to do this for a while. It's not sexy and it's not perfect, but I worked my ass off for this. From 525 to the mid 200s, I'm so proud. Well, seriously, that's impressive. Years ago, anthropologist Margaret Mead was asked by a student what she considered to be the first sign of civilization in a culture. The student expected Mead to talk about fishhooks or clay pots or grinding stones. But no, Mead said that the first sign of civilization in an ancient culture was a femur that had been broken and then healed. Mead explained that in the animal kingdom, if you break your leg, you die. You cannot run from danger, get to the river for a drink, or hunt for food. You are just meat for prowling beasts. No animal survives a broken leg long enough for the bone to heal. A broken femur that is healed is evidence that someone has taken the time to stay with one who fell, has bound up the wound, has carried the person to safety, and tended to the person through recovery. Helping someone else through difficulty is where civilization starts, Mead said. We are at our best when we serve others. Be civilized. Ira Byoke. I start my PhD program on Monday, and my mom just asked me if I would send her my papers as I finish writing them for her to read, because she's so proud of me. She also said she'll try really hard to understand them. Not gonna lie, I'm full on ugly crying right now. Hey man, that type of support goes a long way. As a dad, one of my favorite responsibilities is making everyone in my house their own special pizza on pizza night. I love seeing everyone happily munching on their pizzas. Gordon Ramsay, is that you? These pizzas look amazing. We welcomed our firstborn 5 days ago. Our dog Lucy has been on watch ever since. He cried lightly tonight, and she immediately went to make sure that everything was okay and stayed until he fell back asleep. I love them both. I don't know this man's name, but he deserves to be recognized. Exhibit B. I looked at his full 3 baskets of Valentine's candies and cards and jokingly said, "You got something for every one of the loves in your life, didn't you?" His reply, "No ma'am, I'm a school bus driver. Hashtag the real MVP. Yes, we need more people like this guy. Also, he should definitely be given a raise. I was the poor kid growing up. My mom used to send me to birthday parties with no present, just so that I could eat. I definitely got to a point where I understood and was embarrassed as hell. In 5th grade, my friend's mom invited me to sleep over the night before the actual birthday party. When her daughter was in the shower, the mom laid out the toys that she had bought her daughter for her birthday. She let me pick one to wrap and put my name on. I'm 37 now, and I'm so grateful to that mom. That one act made such an impact on me. This duck brings her ducklings to OP's house every year so he can help her take care of them. This time, 13 fluff balls showed up. Oh, the ducks are like, hey, it's winter time. You gonna let me in? I know how you let me in that one time when it was cold, and yeah, we're gonna need to do that again." This 99-year-old true crime fan had always dreamed of being arrested. When the Dutch police found out that it was on her bucket list, they picked her up, handcuffed her, and threw her in the slammer. She enjoyed every minute of it. I wonder if she just starts role-playing. She's like, "I killed those people and I'll do it again!" Anonymous Angel buys new lawnmower for 85-year-old man after his gets stolen. He's flexing on every other person in the neighborhood. This guy in the blue shirt had over $3,000 in traffic tickets, which accumulated over the course of 3 years. He had just gotten out of prison about 2 months ago and is looking for current employment. It's been hard on him to get a job due to his background. Before he could explain, the judge cut him off and said these exact words: "Look, I know the system doesn't believe in second chances for a felon. In fact, the whole reform idea isn't exactly that. I'm a man of God, and I believe in second chances. You can't move forward with all these fines and a felony on your record. I can't do anything about the felony, but I'm going to wipe away all of these tickets and write a letter to have your driver's license reinstated. You paid your debt to society. Here is your start to a second chance. Bruh, the judge's name is Edward Hasbrook. My crush keeps texting me on how cute her crush is. It's not me. I don't know if she realizes that I'm reading her text through a blur of tears. Edit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm her crush. My little sis had an accident today in kindergarten, and this is how my dad left to pick her up so she wouldn't feel so sad/embarrassed. Hey, I'm glad it worked out, but to be fair, that could have backfired and made her even more sad and embarrassed. The kids would have been looking at her like, "Oh man, not only does she piss her pants, but so does her dad. It's a family thing." Hey, look at this absolute mad lad who works at UPS. He's taking pictures with everyone's dog. That honestly has got to make the job pretty cool. I seriously don't get people who are like, "No pets allowed on Zoom." If my students have a pet and didn't make an appearance, I'm marking it as absent so it has to come see me during lunch. My mom is a first grade teacher. She scheduled a Zoom meeting the day before distance learning started, specifically so students could show off all the cool things in their home that they were excited to share with their teacher. She met everyone's pets and saw their favorite toys. It was a wonderful experience that helped the kids get comfortable with her and excited for school. In 2009, Pixar granted a wish from 10-year-old Colby Curtin to see Up before she died of cancer. A Pixar employee flew to Curtin's house with a DVD of the finished film and screened it for her and her family. Colby, with her parents nearby, died later that night. I mean, that is incredibly sad, but at least you were able to fulfill her last wish. A photographer spent 2 days taking photos at Detroit Montessori School. During afternoon circle time, while the children listened to a story, he captured this beautiful picture. Aw, that's so cute. I wonder what year this is. Every evening, this man takes his sick dog to the lake because water helps relieve the dog's pain. Yes, because that's just one of the things you do for your best friend. My dog gets really anxious in the car, so my grandma asked to sit in the back with him. The whole car ride, all I heard was, "It's okay, we're almost there, brave boy." Well, if that doesn't touch your heart, I'm afraid nothing will. My toddler slipped and spilled her cereal all over herself, the carpet, and instead of yelling at her and flipping my crap, I picked her up and changed her outfit. Then she helped me clean up the mess. There were no tears, there was no shame, and no yelling. My parents would have hit me and yelled. I refused to be them. I never understood the argument of, "Well, that's how my parents treated me, and I turned out fine," because if you're still repeating toxic behavior, then you definitely didn't turn out fine. Props to this parent. My wife and I both woke up randomly at 2 a.m. yesterday. Instead of going back to bed, we spent our new few hours in the dark chatting and laughing about random stuff we've been through over the years. Nice reminder why being married to your best friend is lit. Strippers of Reddit, what's your weirdest story while working? Escort instead of stripper. I had one guy who would take me to a restaurant once every month. He always requested that there would be nothing else involved. No stripping, no touching, no sex, just sitting there for a few hours. So he also wanted me to dress like I would for a normal night out. He had a massive stutter, so much so that a single sentence could take him a minute to pronounce. Normally, he would always speak by writing things down, as people never really had the patience to listen to him. He just wanted someone to actually talk to, because the others all refused to see him multiple times. After I left the job, I kept in touch with him. We still go out every once in a while almost 10 years later, and we call more often. Though he now no longer has to pay, and because he has someone to talk to, his stutter massively improved. Well, that's just great. You guys came in for a simple dinner and it turned into a nice friendship. Well, everyone, that's my time. I hope you enjoyed this episode of r/Mademesmile. If you did, make sure to leave a like down below and don't forget to press the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified of all our EzPz uploads. I'm your host, David the Baker, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out and 3 thumbs up.